I'm ready.
And we're live. Let's do our countdown. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hi, everyone. I'm Nikisha Bond, of course, and this is my wonderful friend, Miss Ricky, who has been so wonderful to say she wanted to come over here. And we're actually going to do a nice little chit chat, nothing super formal, nothing crazy, but she has an amazing business that I'm going to let her go ahead and tell you a little bit about. And then we're going to go ahead and just do what I do normally, which is a quick little strategy session. So, Miss Ricky, the floor is yours, darling.
Hello. I'm Ricky Henderson, and I am the owner of Sweets, and we are a specialty design dessert shop. We specialize in, again, specialty cakes. So if you want a cake that looks like a purse, you want a cake that looks like a guitar, I'm your girl. Also, if you just want some cupcakes for a birthday or anniversary or whatever, I'm also your girl. Do specialty cookies as well. And thank you so much, Nikisha, for having me on today. I appreciate it. And I look forward to all of your wonderful advice because Lord knows I could use it.
Thank you so much. And did you guys see this is I just want to put this back on the screen. These are treats. So this is not like a photo shoot of a guitar. These are like actual treats and they are amazing and they are delicious. So after this, you guys are definitely going to want to reach out to her so that you can get one of these yummy, yummy treats. So today, we're going to have just a nice informal chat. One of the things that I like to do, because my background is in Lean Six Sigma, is really just helping people strategize with their business. So we're going to just talk kind of how we normally do. So tell me a little bit about your business and a little bit about what you want to do for 2023, and then we'll go from there.
So my business, like I said, specialty desserts, specialize in specialty treats. But what I'm finding is in 2023, just looking towards how I can make myself available to not necessarily the average person, but the average average celebration. Because like I said, I do specialty treats, but I also do cupcakes and cookies. I'm not quite sure how I can get that message or branding across, if you will.
Okay.
And along with that, just putting myself out there and letting the public know who I am and what I do. So right now it's basically friends and family, word of mouth. So
okay. So we'd say you're kind of like in the MVP, kind of a minimum viable product. We're putting it out to marketplace, getting feedback from your clients. Now, you said something interesting that you want to reach to the average consumer. So it sounds like you have a profile. Do you have like a higher end consumer right now and you're looking to have like a more of a middle grade consumer, or like are you Louis Vuitton and we want to be a little more Walmart? Like tell me a little bit.
no, I want to say Louis Vuitton. I mess up. No, honestly, no, I'm just finding that, and when I mean by average person, I mean by average celebrations, like birthdays. Like for example, little Tommy is turning 5. His mom's not going to go out and get him, a specialty, $500, $600 or up to $1,000 cake. Like they're going to want more cakes and cupcakes and, cookies and treats, little gifts to give to teachers, Valentine's treats. So that's more of the market, I guess, that I'm trying to, I'd like actually both.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. So you want to sell because like an average celebration, is that more volume?
It is more volume. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think my artistic side, because first and foremost, I like to consider myself an artist. So I get really excited when I get to make a purse or, a backpack. But, I also have skills in other things in terms of baking. Like I'm actually a really good baker as well. So just showcasing that and again, making it available to everyone.
Okay. So I would kind of think those are two different strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds like you're more passionate about one than the other. Do you feel like you're having a hard time optimizing your current strategy? And that's kind of why you want to, do you feel like your current strategy, like you've maxed it out and you've really reached you understand your clientele, you're able to talk to them and really sell to them, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when you say strategy, you're assuming I had one. I'm taking out my notebook. Let me take some notes. Um, no, like I said, it's just been word of mouth.
Right.
And so again, just getting myself out there. And you are right in terms of the two strategies. So for Christmas recently, I did little cookie boxes.
Mhm.
So I did 7 little mini cookies in a box, $15. They were perfect to give to teachers. So I feel like I did really well in that. I didn't quite meet my sales goal for that, but
Mhm.
I got some lessons for next time. So more stuff like that, where
Okay.
it's, does that make sense?
Right. And how do you want to break up your percentages in your business, like compared to, we'll call it the custom path versus the average Joe path, or like, or everyday path, custom path versus everyday path. Is that kind of
You
how
know, I
you're looking
think,
at it?
well, I think realistically, the custom path is going to look more like 30%, average path 70%.
Okay. Okay. And what would you
Because
say
again, I
were
mean,
the,
we're looking at like anniversary cakes, even wedding cakes, although, huh, um, you know, 50th birthday cakes, 21st birthday cakes. I mean, those are small compared to an average birthday.
right?
Or, we're celebrating a big soccer win or something like that. So, yeah.
Okay. So right now, do you feel like your average client comes to you, or do you go out and solicit for your clients? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know you've been
Mm.
doing like a lot of word of mouth. Like, do you get clients coming back and saying, "Hey, I want to get a custom cake," or how are you getting the word out? Or is it like, "Hey, I have this offering," and then people like, "Yeah, I want to buy it." Are they waiting for your next offering? Like, how do you like elicit a sales cycle, so to speak?
Oh, well,
And I'm not saying that you have it in that terms, but you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to think of it in that terms because we're trying to figure out what the business strategy is going to be. So
right,
that's why we're trying to use the data from what you have from all the different people that you've already talked to and
right,
figure out
right.
in that, is there a plan? So let me give you an example. So
Okay.
when we first started out doing business, we were selling synthetic turf. And we kept losing a lot of customers and we couldn't figure out why we were losing customers. So we had to actually ask them, like, okay, why didn't you go with this? So one of them, it was because our price point was too high. But the other one, and this was actually more common, was that we just didn't offer enough services for them. So it
Mm.
was kind of like they wanted to go to a company that offered more services because it was like, I'm doing turf, but that's part of the overall. And so what we found was that our customer, the one that we really could like figure out and get in a pinch, was someone who just moved into their home and they wanted to redo
Mm.
the whole backyard. So they wanted to do turf with it, or someone who moved into a new home or moved into a home or wanted to renovate their backyard. They're usually doing more than just one thing. Very rarely do we get a project where it's just one thing, unless they've already done all that stuff and then they
Right,
call us at the end.
right.
So that's how we kind of expanded who our actual customer was. So, like, when I'm listening to you and I'm hearing custom cakes, I immediately start thinking weddings, right? Because those would be people who would want custom cakes.
Right,
I would be thinking, people who do custom cakes are usually probably in a higher price point.
right,
So, are we in the market for custom cakes? Do we have to go to a different market to find those custom cakes? So now
right,
when we're looking at the minimum viable product that you've already done, which is you going out and talking to your friends and family, which is how all businesses start, right? You have
right.
something that you think can sell. And so the minimum viable product is to take that little something, go out to market and see, what do the customers say? So now that you've kind of taken different items out to market, what do the customers say to you? What is it that they want from you? What are they willing to buy that if you had it, they would just give you the money for it?
Oh, definitely. I think cupcakes. I do a really good chocolate chip cookie. That at one point I was selling it at the winery, so I do know that sells. Um, so basically, I would say that just the cookies, the cupcakes, things that I could whip up the night before
Mhm.
because they have maybe a last minute order or something I could take to work that people generally like. I also, when I have appointments like with my chiropractor or whatever, I take them treats. So things that are readily accessible.
Okay. So we have sorry, we have cupcakes, we have cookies. Do you have another one?
Cupcakes, cookies,
Do you have another like baking good, like a third one?
cakes, but not necessarily like specialty cakes. Like I can whip up just a chocolate cake.
Okay, so let's do cupcakes, cookies, and then your specialty treat in
Right.
the mini
And
size. Because
Right. And at
sorry.
one point I was doing cake slices because I had a
Hmm.
cake. And so generally when I take stuff to people that I know, I don't just slice the cake in front of them and go here on a napkin. Like I put it in a little container and was like, ooh, what if we did these? And people are like, oh, these are cool because we don't have to get a whole cake. We can just get a slice of the cake. So,
Right.
right.
Ooh, I like that. I like that because I do like buying slices of cakes. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So you could bake a cake, you could slice it up, and then kind of dress it up there. Okay, so we have cupcakes, cookies, cake slices, and then you do. I know you do those like. Hold on, let me see the picture. Which one of these? Did I put it on here? Because which one of these are the like the little mini things that you do?
Oh,
I
the
think
little
you do.
Starbucks cups.
Yes, those things.
Oh, they're like cake pops. Yes, I do those
Cake
as well.
pops. There you go. That's the word we're looking for. Cake pops. Because those are really popular. Okay. Cupcakes, cookies, cake slices, cake pops. I like those. Those are really good because those are easy to sell. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So, all right. So you said that you were selling at the winery. What happened to that?
Well, I don't
How
know.
did that go?
They had like corporate come through and go through all their different vendors, and then so
Hmm.
just didn't work out.
Okay.
So,
Um, now that connection, how now do you feel like you can make more of those connections?
oh, definitely. I think it's just a matter again when we started the conversation. I think we probably even had this before. It's just uh, putting myself out there because
Mm-hmm.
initially when we first met, there were some things that I did not have in place in
Okay.
terms of systems with the business, and so now I feel like I'm in a different place with that.
Okay.
And so I feel like I am ready to go and put myself out there and to go to different places and venues and do that. So, and when I was talking with the winery initially, before we decided on the cookies, one of the advice from that person looking at all of the stuff and that I can do was like, you should try to be like an actual vendor and not just for like cookies in the gift shop, but like wedding cakes and specialty cakes. So that's another avenue that I'm looking at as well.
What
So
does that mean when he says be a vendor? Like, oh, to like sell them wedding cakes and stuff
um
like that? Or?
well no, it's called a preferred vendor. So like if you want to get married at let's say Henderson Winery
Mm-hmm.
or Henderson location, they basically give you a list. These are the people that we do business with. And so you
Okay.
could pick from that list. And so it would basically be being put on that list.
Okay. Have you reached out to any what are those people who plan weddings for you, wedding planners?
Oh, event planners.
Yeah. Have you talked to any event planners?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That might be a good strategy too, because they would be people who would be looking for specialty custom things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way you could do like a really nice cake, and then kind of have the cupcakes as the supplementary uh,
Right.
around like a really fancy cake. So I would love for you to reach out to some event planners and offer, kind of show them your showcase of what you have
Mm-hmm.
to offer, and see if that's something that they would be interested in,
Right.
because that could be some good connections that you can make. And also, you would learn a lot from actually talking to them and figuring
Right.
out more of the custom side, because I know that's your passion. So I want to always keep that in the back of my mind, because this is really creative. And the reason why I love this piece is because this is going to really piggyback onto your social media, right? Which is
Mm,
what you're talking about in terms of getting your brand out there, because social media
right.
is so powerful right now that
Right.
people are able to take literally nothing and kind of turning it into something. So, okay, so I love this because what we've kind of defined is if you have an offering of cupcakes, cookies, cake slices, cake pops, which is going to be for the average Joe. And then, of course, you're going to have your custom things that you should
Right.
continue to do and continue to develop those relationships. And you want to keep going back out to the wineries, get onto the preferred vendors, start talking to some event planners to get on these people's lists, just so that you can start to be a
Right.
part of that group and get that out. Now, another thing too that you might want to start doing is because okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned like when you did the Starbucks things and you're about to be like, hey, I made a new, thingamabob. What do you tell people? Like, what is your like promotion? You know what I'm saying? When you're telling your friends and family about what you're doing.
Uh, ooh, that's a good question. Like I said, generally it's word of mouth. So I just call them up and go, hey, we got these Starbucks cups I'm doing, or I do it at work, or I was posting it on Facebook
Okay.
on my personal page and
Hmm.
not realizing that. before I had everything situated with my business pages. So it was just, again, word of mouth on my personal page. And
Okay.
so now I have my business page. So that's how I do it. I typically post something or I do a
Okay.
reel,
Do
TikTok.
you do something that like limited time only this many available, like custom, like, hey, like you know what I'm saying? Something that really kind
No,
of
I do.
draws people in there. Yeah. How does that work?
That's a good question because I haven't done it. Um, no, I post it and I say, "Hey, I'm doing these," but I understand what you're saying, and that's something that I'm also working on as well. Is getting that learning the sales end of it. Gosh, no
Hmm.
one when you start a business, no one tells you there's like all these different things. You just think, "I'm gonna make a cake and everyone's gonna buy it," and that is not always the case. I'm gonna make some cookies. Everyone's gonna come and buy cookies. And that's not the case because how are they gonna know unless I tell them? And then I don't so much.
Welcome to business. Oh my gosh, this is such a wonderful realization. I know, right?
So much stuff.
I know.
So
And especially
much.
because
So much.
and it's one of those things, it's like beginner's luck, because you go and you tell people, and of course they're gonna eat it for free, right? They're gonna have you do everything for free and they're
Right.
gonna love it. It's hard, it's when you want to charge the money that everything is like
Right.
it's a little bit more crazy. So
Right.
okay, so one of the things that I love about what you do is you have so many different ideas, right? And
Hmm.
so you could also do like, hey, I'm gonna be baking, whatever it is. Or you can do like, I know that you have filmed some of your baking. I know you have your studio coming together.
Hmm.
That's great content, because one of the things that you can do with social media is like, hey, I'm whipping this up. Can you guys think of what I'm going to do? Or like, here's 3 different ideas. What do you guys think I can do? Or
Hmm.
submit your wildest idea and I'll create that for you, so that you can
Right.
really start to engage with your audience. And then you want to be giving them some type of a value, right? You want to have a
Right.
conversation with them. Maybe you can tell them about like cooking, or maybe you can show them, like different things that they can do. I don't know, some type of educational thing, so that when you're coming online, you're providing some type of value for people, so that when you're saying like, hey, I have a great special where we're going to be doing, my cupcake boxes, and they're going to be like this, limited time only, get your orders in by here. And then once you kind of made that big social media push, then you do the calls and say, hey guys, did you hear? I've got so many people
Mm.
calling, trying to get orders. And then, that kind of goes. I know a friend of mine, she sells vegan meals. Her food is
Mm.
amazing. And so she'll do like a picture of all her prepped meals, and people just give her calls. And I think it's the consistency that people kind of see you doing it is where
Yeah.
they kind of remember you. And that's one of the things with social media that's really, really great, is that if you continue to like be in people's mind, then when they're ready to make that decision, they'll remember to call you, right? Because
You,
sometimes I have a lot of people who will be like, I just got my yard done. I forgot you guys do that. And I'm like, really? Really? But again, it's not that, it's that marketing.
right.
So when you say getting yourself back out there, what is it that what's stopping you from getting out there? Because it's free, right? You turn on your phone, you can go live anytime. So what do you feel is stopping you?
It's just the planning piece
Okay.
and organizing my life around it because I do actually I have a career. I have a full-time job that I do as well. Like this is not my full-time job. It's like it's not. Well, I mean it's not. I mean, I'd like it to be. Like I'm headed in that direction. I mean, I have a plan of how many years well I'll be teaching. So it's just planning.
Okay.
So yeah, just
So
planning.
let me see if I can share this. I was I think I was telling you this before. No, where did he go? Hold on. Where did he go? No. Home tab. No. Okay, I'm gonna try and do this. I don't know if this is right. Can you see my screen? Am I sharing
I
a
can
screen?
calendar.
Oh, okay. So you can see that. I just can't see
Yeah.
you. Okay, great. Okay, so there's a lady named Jasmine Star. I saw her on Instagram. She posts a
Okay.
lot, and I went to one of her little trainings. I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. Anyways, um, and one of the things she did was she was creating her social media content, and she does
Mm,
it monthly and weekly. And I love the way that she did this. She said, so first monthly, she creates content for the holidays. So she puts down all the different holidays. Second, she does content around personal events on social media like birthdays, anniversaries, vacations. And then she starts talking about business related events like, places that you're going, networking, launching, sale of a product. And then she
Mm,
creates a whole calendar. So this would be kind of like what you're doing, right? Is that, hold on, let
right.
me zoom out a little bit.
Oh,
So
wow.
she just created a calendar to put on all of the different holidays, and
Mhm.
then you just sprinkle in here all of the different, events that you have going on in your life. That way, now you're looking at your whole calendar and a whole month view, so you can see, okay, here are the areas where I'm going to be creating content around. Maybe you have an event, or maybe you're going to be speaking with someone, maybe you're going to be cooking something, and
Right.
so I think this would probably help a lot. Um, when you're really creating your schedule, because I think that if you have something where you're documenting your life versus having
Right.
to create content, it makes it a lot easier. I
Mm,
know Gary Vee talks a lot about that, which is document the things that are already going on in your life and turn that
right.
into content. Because maybe things that you don't think are very interesting can be very interesting to people. Anything that you're going to be cooking, any place that you're going to be going, especially with the pandemic and so many people didn't have the opportunity or still don't have the opportunity to get out. They love to
Right.
see people going and, here and there. And so, do you feel like that's something that you could create a schedule around, maybe the things that you're already doing and then just documenting those?
Oh, definitely. Just I think it was last month before last, I would bake something. Like I said, I was doing a one-to-one training, and I would bake something, and then I would post a picture of the ingredients. Guess what I'm making? And so that lent to now the next post was almost there. Like, what do you think it is? So I think if I did more stuff like that, because I bake every week, like
Right.
every single week. At this point, almost probably every other every other day, every other 2 days. And now with the holidays and family home, I'm definitely baking. So I think that's something I could definitely incorporate. And then starting the new year off with the calendar, because then there's February, so there's Valentine's Day, and then,
Right.
March. And so there's definitely content out there, like you said, that I don't have to go and create, but it's there. Just a matter
Yeah.
of how I guess present it. So that would be, so are you gonna send me that? Like,
The calendar? Yeah, I can send that to
yeah.
you.
Oh, well, try to
Yeah, you want me to
screenshot.
send it to you? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I will email this over to you. Yeah, it was just the different calendar for whatever year this
Oh,
was.
okay.
I don't even know for
Okay.
what year. What year was this? Oh,
And I
2008.
know, I think it's on, so the Facebook Business Suite, Meta, whatever they call it,
Mhm.
they have a calendar as well that you can schedule your posts. You can schedule it down to the time
Yes.
that you schedule it, which I love. And it will tell you on there, today is whatever day. Today is National Teddy Bear Day, or National Twin Day, or whatever. So I think I need to utilize that more too. I just need to, it's time. It's just time and budgeting my time. That's basically what it is. Just, and what I've started doing is treating this like literally a second job. So if I come home from work, then I have maybe 2 hours, and then it's like, okay, now start my second job. So that's been helpful as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really important too, because I know it's about the consistency and the frequency that you're doing it. And
Mhm.
another strategy that you can use too is like when you're doing the cooking, right? You can turn that into a cooking show. And then one of the strategies that I know works really well on social media is to create long form content and then chop that content up and put it up on the other different platforms. So like if you do like a whole cooking show, and then like chop up small pieces of it and do 3 minutes on Instagram, 3 minutes on TikTok, take small bite-sized pieces of it. So that way you can have, it's kind of like the same content, but you're breaking it out and doing
Mm,
different pieces of it. Because some people will sit down and watch a lot, like me, I'll sit down and watch a 3, 4, 5 hour documentary. I don't have a problem with that. But then there's some people that it's like I can't listen to them that long. I can only watch like the good stuff. So
right.
that's another thing that you can do too. Another one that I like to watch. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, but this is like completely sidebar. Is there's this guy on there's this guy on Instagram. He cooks everything with like little tiny utensils and like little tiny. It's so cute. I'm like,
Oh,
oh.
that gives me anxiety. No. I mean, it's cute, but it's like I can't. But I like it. I mean, more
you
power
know,
to him, you know?
but I'm saying that just to say, like, think of it in terms of show, right? You're a brand now, right? So you're a brand. And unfortunately, you can't hire people who would go and do all these things for you. So you got to be the person to do all of these things for yourself.
Yes.
So, right. So that part. So, what I would do too is do the long form content. And then let's say that you don't have the time to edit it. You can go onto Fiverr and they have lots of different video editors there. And
Mhm.
if you give them something, they'll chop it up for you, and you can have them edit something for you. And then what I did was I actually bought an editing software. It's called Wondershare, and I really like it because it was like $50, and you can just edit pretty much anything. It's a really easy platform. I can show that to you too. It's Wondershare Filmora X. And I don't know what it costs now, but maybe like when I bought it 5 years ago, it was $50, and that was for a lifetime subscription. And it
Oh,
gives
wow.
you like, yeah, it makes it so that you can at least like cut things, put overlays, put beginning and ending and stuff like that. You can also use StreamYards that we're using here because it's got the different, how we can switch. I can be big. We can be, oh, that didn't work. We can be like this.
You
I'm
were
not going to
big
show
for a minute.
this. Yeah. And then I can just be myself and you're gone. And then we can be us. And then we can be us with products. Hold on. Where's the products added to the
Oh, I
stream?
like it.
So, yeah. So even with this, you can, and I think you can do this live like we're doing now, or you can do a pre-recorded video. So,
Okay.
you want to just figure out a way that makes it easy for you to continue to shoot content, because it would be better to have more content that was less pretty than to have less content that was super pretty. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It would be
right.
better for you to do quick and dirty stuff and get more pings. Because think about like trying to fill up an ocean with pebbles, right? If you're just throwing a pebble in there every once in a while,
Right.
the likelihood of somebody feeling it. But if you're like, you're
Right.
going to see, you're going to hit some more. And so usually what ends up happening that I've noticed, just from a statistical standpoint, is that people are posting, and like right now we have 0 watchers. We had one for a while. Shout out to your husband. But
But when we're but it's okay, because one day when I've, quote unquote made it and you continue with your business, people will look back and go, "Oh, wow. That was
look at
back
them.
then."
I
See?
know. Back when they
Yet.
were so young and beautiful, and now they're older and beautiful.
Where all the gray took
I
over.
know. We're hiding the gray. We're dealing with the gray. Actually, I can't wait to become silver and gray. Sorry, squirrel. Anyways, yeah, but you want to just make sure that you can figure out a way that you can post more frequently. And
Right.
so I think the more you do it, and then that way you can bring in your specials and your deals. Like right now, when you're doing your calendar, you should also say, okay, what are the different items that you're going to sell? So if you have the cupcakes, the cookies, the cake slices, and the cake pops,
Right.
when are they going to be available? How do
Right.
people order? Those types of things. So that way, whenever you're doing kind of like your video, you can always be promoting the next video. And so you
Right.
can be promoting the next event and the next event and the next event. And that's how everything just kind of builds. And so you start off with 0, like I was saying before. And then what ends up happening is that one of your items will hit into the algorithm. And then people will go through your catalog and they're like, oh, this person is really great. Look at how consistent they are with their content. Or like even with that person with the little miniatures, like you said, I'm never going to cook miniature food, but I just like watching them. I like it when it comes down my timeline. I like,
Right.
because we tune into people like a television show now. So we ostensibly have our own television show on our phones,
Mm,
so, we just have to take advantage of it.
right.
Yeah,
So much.
I
So
know.
much.
It's a
I
lot.
know. Well, I mean, I guess cost of doing business in 2020, we're going in 23. So,
Yeah. But this is
yeah.
a great time to be alive. This is a great time to run your business. I mean, I've been in business for 18 years. It's never been this easy to reach a
Mm,
customer. It's never been this easy to get your message out. It's never been this easy to even create a brand. You know what I'm saying? For
right.
people to be able
Right.
to see, boom, look at me. You see
Bam.
that?
It's me. That's me.
That's
That's
her.
cool.
I know. That's a
Actually,
cute.
it's actually my grandmother, who's no longer with us, gave me we had this thing, instead of her, leaving all of her stuff to me when she passed on, we had a thing where she just started giving stuff to me every year, like for my birthday. And so she gave me her cake stand. So
Oh,
that's her cake stand. So
I love this. And you know why this is so strong is because this is a great brand. When people are thinking about brand, you have to think about something that can be printed that looks nice, something that you can wear that looks nice, something that can be transferred that looks nice. And so this is really good because it's very concise. The cake topper can be like kind of like that Nike. You want to have that sweets is very
mhm.
customized. It has your name in there. So I love all of that. It's a very, very, very strong logo. It doesn't take away from what you're doing. And even when you add it to like, because I know you have it, hold on, let me take it off there. You have
Have
it
it on.
on one of these pictures. Yeah, like right in here. I don't know if you can see it on the Pokemon. It blends in really, really well. So that's a really, really nice thing. And, branding is really, really key. That's one of the things that you're going to want to keep in mind as you're continuing to grow and doing your social media, is to always be throwing out your brand. And then also think about your funnel too. So as you're creating this, like, where do people go once they meet you? So like right now, if somebody wants to order a cake from you, they want to get some cookies, how can they reach you?
I have a website.
Go ahead and share.
Oh, I have to look it up. How do we do that? We didn't go over that.
I know. I see how I do that. You didn't know that was coming. So you got to stay ready.
Can you screen share?
Yeah.
Because you can look it up.
Oh, okay. Tell me. I'll look it up.
www.sweetsbyricky. SWEETSBYRICCI.com. Yep.
Perfect. Ooh, this is so cute. Ooh, it's moving. Hold on. Let me share. It's moving. Hold on. Let me share my screen.
And I did it myself, by the way. Let me just say that.
You know what? Kudos
all
to
by
you.
Myself.
That is such a huge thing. Look at this, guys. I want you guys to understand what she just said is so powerful. You couldn't do this, 20 years ago, to create your own beautiful website. So I love that you created this yourself, because that just shows that anybody can do it. So yes, go to sweetsbyricky.com. If you guys are interested, if you want to place an order, she has an order here. So just go ahead and fill out the information, and you can get a quote if you want something custom. If you want to get some cupcakes, if you want to get some sugar cookies, some wedding favors, she has all of these available. If you give her a call, she can do anything for you and make it super, super custom for you. Ooh, look at this, guys. Look at this. Ooh.
Isn't she cute? The little hedgehog.
Girl, I keep forgetting. That's a cake?
Yeah.
Backpack.
And you can wear it. That's a cool thing.
What?
You can wear it. Yeah, you can wear it. I think I sent you a picture. You can wear it. Yeah, you can wear it.
I did see that picture. I just thought she was wearing a backpack.
No.
She was wearing a backpack.
Well, look. So that one, the Louis Vuitton one right there, that one I'm holding. See, I'm holding it.
So
you could essentially walk into your party with your cake.
I love that. I'm loving it. Tiffany & Company. Yep. So perfect. So, and another thing is doing events like this, sharing, cross branding. These are always powerful tools too. This always helps you to get your brand out, because especially as you start to get more consistent, more people will start to reach out to you. They'll want to know who you are. And then you can talk to some of their audience to kind of grow your audience too. And so that's just some other great things. So I don't want to keep everybody too long. I think 30 minutes is a great little strategy session. So Miss Ricky, I will give you the final word. Is there anything? Did we get anything accomplished today? I don't know. We were just talking.
We actually got, like any conversation with you, we have so much accomplished. There are so many things that in my head, they're just pinging around, because you always give really good ideas and food for thought. And sometimes I'll be driving and go, oh, she said this. Like it'll click. Or I'll be doing something and go, oh, she said to do this last year. So no, I think you are amazing, and anyone that needs any type of advice or just needs to know what direction to go to, you are like the person. You have such a wealth of knowledge, and just the way you present it and the ideas, it's a lot, but it's very good.
It's a lot, but you've made such huge strides, and I'm so proud of you. I mean, you've done, we've had just a few conversations, and you've been able to take that and really, really fly. So I'm just really, proud of you. Congratulations to you. You're getting so much better. I love seeing the pictures. I love seeing everything that you're doing. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait till the next time. So I'm going to send you over that Jasmine Star calendar. And yeah, I think once you get your calendar together, because you're a teacher, you're organized. I think once it's on there and it's integrated with your life, and then maybe use your kids to do video, reach out to Fiverr, start outsourcing, because there's certain things, as a small business owner, that you want to start outsourcing, especially when you're trying to expand your business. No business is built by itself, right? So you get to a point where you can only do so much. So when you get to that point where you need support, you want to look out for virtual assistants. I'm a big fan of using child labor, children that you've labored to bring into this world should, should definitely give back. Definitely give back and support. So just make sure that you're really outsourcing those things because you don't want to not work on your business. Because one of the
Right.
things that I learned about business early on was that you have to push to get the momentum going. And it's hard because what'll happen is like you'll get a little momentum, you get into some stores, you're starting to get, and then life happens and then it goes out. And then you
Right.
start, you're always building, building, building. And it's hard because if you're always building, you never get to have that momentum where you're really coasting, where you're really taking
Mhm.
advantage of all of the steps that you've done. So I would say
Right.
for 2023, really plan out your calendar for the whole year if you can. Make sure that you make some type of a commitment to yourself to do some long form content that you can then
Mhm.
chop up and put smaller form contents on all the different platforms. Pick out
Right.
your platforms that are key to you. Where's your audience? What makes sense for your audience? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you think
Right.
of Facebook is going to be different from YouTube. That's different from
Mhm.
Instagram, different from TikTok. So where's your audience and what would they be enjoying? And then just make a commitment. And then once you make that commitment and you try it out for a week, and let's say that you fail, because of course we always think we can do everything and we can't. Then
Right.
you need to be, instead of quitting, just do like a retrospective, which is okay, where did it fail? And then always be looking at
Mhm.
what is it that I'm doing that I don't need to do. If you put a price tag on yourself, right? Figure out what is your dollar per hour, and then figure out
Mhm.
if you're working on something, does it make sense for you to work on it or for you to outsource it? Because sometimes 20
Mhm.
hours on a virtual assistant can give you back like 50 hours of your own personal time.
Mhm.
And another thing you're going to find when you do start to outsource things is the systems, right? SOPs, standard operating procedures. So,
Right.
but don't worry about that right now. Right now, just figure out what you're going to do, start to
Mhm.
do it. Once you fail, go back and figure out where the failures were and start to
Right.
outsource what you don't need to do and then get back to what you do need to do because you're the star, right? You're the hub.
Right.
And so you've got to be able to continue to create that content and to spread it out. And now you're just bringing other people along on the team that can kind of help support you until you get to that place where you're really starting to, gain that momentum. And now you can have full
Right.
time staff. So everything is always a building upon itself.
Right.
That's
That's all. That's
all
all.
for today.
So much. Well,
And
thank
so
you.
you're welcome. And if
Yeah.
anybody has any questions or if you would like to sit down and have a strategy session, I would love to sit down and talk to you about anything, any type of business. I got lots of knowledge and I might not be able to solve your problems, but I probably can give you the next best step to take it to solve your problems. So thank you so much, Miss Ricky. Appreciate you.
Thank
And make
you.
sure you guys go and check her out. Her suites are absolutely amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
sweetsbyricky.com. So make sure that you can place your order and get your order today. All right. Thank you guys
All
so
right.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.